Step into the spotlight.
Hey guys, what's going on? So I wasn't going to make a video about this, but shocker, here I am. So the new Punisher came out, and it's by a new writer, Matthew Rosenberg, and it's supposed to be the Punisher War Machines, you know, because they killed off their only diverse character that they had and replaced it with a white guy, but we're the racists. So we got the Punisher here. He is War Machine. It's a cool cover. Well, guess what? That doesn't happen in the book. So shocker. Then we get another cool title page. Guess what? That doesn't happen either. The cover artist is Clayton Crane. He's awesome. And it's what they keep doing. They keep getting these really good variant covers to try to get you to buy the book. So basically, he's Punisher. Blah, blah. So we start out here, and the Punisher is sneaking up on these guys. They're doing a weapons deal, and it's in Red Hook, Brooklyn. And we start out with this really cringe conversation about how the black arms dealers confused the guys from, where are they from? Chernaya. He confused them from being from Latavarian, which is where Dr. Doom rules. And he's like, well, that's like confusing you guys from someone living in Canada. And he's like, dude, I'm from East New York. That's not even close. And so that's my thing. That was a terrible joke. Terrible joke. And like I've seen in DNC's videos, you know, the guys from the Russian lineage, they're very, very racist. Very racist, always drunk. I mean, it's pretty funny. So they would not care at all. They would just call them the N-word and move on. And this is the first time I noticed, you know, this joke was so cringy. It's the first time I noticed the Punisher in the background there. So anyway, they get to the point where they're trying to do the deal, and the Punisher's killed the guys in the back. So when they called for them to come out, nobody came. So they sent another guy in there to check. And he starts trying to pull out the guns. And when they open up the case, oh, there's the guy with his head cut off, and he's got a grenade in his mouth. And the grenade goes off. We get these generic letters. And this really touched me the wrong way, because the Punisher comes out shooting, and I don't know who the photo reference for this, whether it was Donald Trump or whatever, but look how little the guy's hands are compared to the rest of his body. Look how big his head is. He's got a dad bod, a big head, and little arms. The Punisher's supposed to be threatening. This guy's not threatening. You would have been better off to show him in some kind of like long jacket with the Punisher emblem underneath showing, and then like a hood on or something, dual firing machine guns or something like that. I mean, that would have been more threatening than this dude. This dude looks like me wearing body armor coming out of a corner shooting, except my hands would be bigger. And so he goes and firing at him. They're taking him out, and the American arms dealers, they know who the Punisher is. So they start running, and the foreign guy's like, "Hey, where y'all going? Hold on." He's like, "No, that's a Punisher, fool. We out." So they're crawling around trying to hide. The Punisher's taking everybody out. This keeps going. Well, they decide, hey, you know what we're going to use? We're going to get out the guns we was trying to sell, them futuristic guns. We're going to use them. So they get these really bad-looking futuristic guns. Looks like a knockoff between the Pulse rifle from Aliens and one of those Nintendo guns that you use to shoot the ducks with. And then the little dog would laugh at you. I hated that dog. Hated it. So anyway, they shoot at the Punisher. They think they took him out. So they shoot out the doors so they can run away to the escape boat. And as they're putting the stuff in there, they see somebody coming out, and it goes, "Oh, is that Sergey?" "No, that's not Sergey, fool. That's the Punisher." So he comes out. And you can clearly tell that they modeled this Punisher after the actor for the TV show, which is fine. But just make him look better. I mean, you don't have to make him look even worse than the guy in the TV show does. They're trying to escape. It doesn't work because he's put a bomb on the boat. So as soon as they get to the big boat, he blows up the little boat and kills them all. So he goes walking away, and he notices something's off about the van that he's been staying in. So when he comes around the side, he throws open the door real fast and holds his gun out, and there's Sam Jackson. I mean, Nick Fury. And so Nick Jackson's sitting there, and he's like, do you live in here? Where do you go pee? And it's like one of those very bad jokes. It doesn't work at all. And basically, Nick carries him to this Oriental restaurant, sits in the back with him, and tells him, "Hey, I've got a job for you. There's this country where those arms dealers were from. A lot of people's been killed. We need you to overthrow the ruler, so we can put somebody else in. Basic stuff like that." So there, we've got a storyline. We've got something going on. We've got stakes here, and the Punisher accepts the deal. But he says, in order for you to carry out this deal, I'm going to need you to steal something from S.H.I.E.L.D. because I can't get it. You're going to have to steal that, and that's what's going to help you to complete the mission. And so he breaks into the Marine or the military base. And I tell you, it was kind of nice that they didn't have him kill the soldiers because, the soldiers aren't the bad guys. So he sneaks up behind them, knocks them out, barely gets to the door in time, does this weird Street Fighter double kick as he slides into the door, pushes it closed, and then the weapons are just sitting there. You can just go in there and get them if you want them. It's cool. And this would have been a cool time to reference some other things, but they didn't really reference anything that I can notice in there. So he opens the door up, he sees what's inside, and he starts smiling because he's like, yeah, Christmas time. So they tell him there's nowhere to go, you can't get out. Are you going, put your hands up and walk out? And then he does what everybody would do, and he blows the door up and comes out in his suit. And I didn't really like this one scene where they show the suit because it's really poorly drawn, and it almost looks like the suit from that movie Star Kid. That doesn't look like War Machine to me. That looks like some kind of alien suit. And so he bursts out the ceiling and flies off. And Nick Jackson made this reference where he's like, now when you get done with this mission, you're gonna have to give that suit back. And Frank's like, F that, haha, to be continued. And that's all it is. That's all we get. You could read this in probably like 5 minutes. I know I did. I've just told about the book in 7 minutes. And so I don't really see the whole deal about it. It was like everything else. It was kind of a letdown. It was really, really good cover art and then not so good on the inside. The guy that was the artist on the inside is Guillermo Villanova. And he tries, but I feel like they told him to do this a certain way. I feel like he could have done better, but they told him to do this way, and that's why the Punisher comes out looking like he's 5'7" with a dad bod. What happened to the Punisher? Like I just bought a old Punisher comic here recently because it was pretty cool. It had Dr. Doom on the cover. It's classic Punisher suit, and he looks like he's about 6'1", about 210, 220. Muscle, looks like a threat, basically. He looks like a threat. This guy doesn't look like a threat, And I understand that combat skills doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to look, big and muscular. But when you see this guy, you would not think he was threatening at all. And that's supposed to be, when you see the Punisher coming, it's like seeing Batman coming. Except this guy's going to rip your spine out through your back. And so he needs to be, they need to amp it up some. If they would amp this up some and made him more threatening and then gave him a little bit more to do in the book, it could have been a really good book. If he would have gotten the suit and then had to fight his way out and somehow fight his way out without killing anybody and pulled a Terminator 2 where, he just unloads a machine gun on everything around them and then they're forced to escape, that would have been kind of cool. And then you could have put casualty 0 at the end. And he'd be like, all right, all right. But I don't know. It's kind of a cheese fest. And I think it missed the mark a little bit. I wasn't really surprised because Matthew Rosenberg's not really that good of a writer. They put him on this book like he's supposed to be a big deal, and he's not. And then they reference the TV show Punisher, which is okay. But, you would have been better off to reference the guy from Punisher Warzone. At least he was kind of threatening looking. This guy's just not. He's just not. He looks like a real vet. I mean, that's pretty cool. But I mean, he doesn't look threatening. The guards guarding the facility look more threatening than him. But that's just me. So I give Dad Bod Punisher a 5 out of 10 on this. It could have been really good. Now, I can obviously tell what's going to happen. Punisher's going to end up being a villain. He's not going to want to give the suit up. They're going to have to send people after him. It's going to become this whole thing. We've got to villainize our heroes one at a time. But we'll see, But I give this one a pass. I would say don't read it. Move on to the next thing. But I definitely want to do a video after I watch DNC's video on this because I just had my own thoughts I want to put out there. And I was kind of, this is one of those comics that just leaves you going, what? So you don't really know to make a video or not. But if you don't get it out there, then people are going to keep buying this trash. So I definitely want to let you guys know what to read. I'm going to do a pull list video later today, so I'll let you see that. But all right, guys, I'll talk to you later. Underground Geek out.